Good. So I hope you see my slide. Welcome. Oh, let me remove the transcription. That is really annoying. Sorry. Yeah, so that's better. Okay, welcome. So let me talk about the specialization, the 4-year specialization of the International Food and Agribusiness Program on future food systems. In this program, we feel a sense of urgency. Our current food systems are efficient and they're beneficial for a few, but they cause as well problems. We have to deal with climate change, biodiversity loss, and as well malnutrition. And therefore, we see the urgency for change. So this specialization is for everybody interested in future scenarios, in changes in food systems, and the new business models within these new systems, in innovations and in transitions of these systems, but as well in value-based leadership. We work with real life cases for companies, and we have a multidisciplinary approach because change requires the input of various disciplines. And we work in an international context as food is globally transported, and we have an international classroom. And I have two students sitting here, both Teun and Sanjonika, and they will give some examples of what we have done in the last half year. So what will you learn? Well, you learn about transition of a sector or a country in a food systems with multiple stakeholders, and we will look at multi-level perspectives. What do we mean with this? Well, if you want change, you need to look at 3 levels: at macro, at meso, and at micro level. And at macro level, you look at what is really driving a food systems at a global scale, policies, big global trends. At meso level, it's more at what is happening for a country, or for a system, what is the current business? And at micro level, we look, what are the new developments, what is going on? That can be small initiatives or really new technological developments. And what will we do after we looked at this multi-level perspective? Then we build scenarios. So there are different development pathways, how change will happen, and you will look for a company what are possible development pathways. And both Sanjonika and Teun will give concrete examples of what they have done, because I know this is quite abstract. And while you have done that, we will look at the possibilities for businesses. And we have a toolbox of tools. The current students needed to use all of them. They needed to use true cost accounting, or at least calculate a footprint. They needed to do multi-criteria analysis. For next year, we already decided, okay, we give the complete set of toolboxes we have, and the students can choose which is most applicable for the project. That makes it easier, because sometimes one of these tools is not applicable for a certain case. And while we talk about change, actually, and we want change for the food systems, it's really important to know, who are you, and what are your values, and what is your role in creating change? And we do that by having leadership lectures and workshops. We have college tours, and you write a personal reflection report. and really with the aim, like what are you as a person, and how can you create change? Another pillar in this module is the individual research, where you do a real life in 18 weeks, you do a research project focusing on a subject that is really close to your heart, as long as it relates to sustainability. And I hope both Teun and Jonica can give an example. But we always promote students to do something they really interested in. For us, it's really fun to read the variety of research which have been done in half a year. Well, how are we doing it? We have lectures on Monday and on Friday. On Wednesdays, they are scheduled free for excursions, and on the Tuesday and the Thursday, you can work on either your group project or your individual research. And on Tuesdays from next year, we have a room scheduled where you can work together, and as well where you can invite the lecturers to come if you have questions. So maybe Teun and Jonica, maybe you can tell briefly what you have been doing in the last half year. Jonica, shall we start with you?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Sayonika Banerjee. I'm from India. And yeah, now I'm in the last phase of the IFA study, which is the professional assignment. But talking about the previous 6 months or so, it sounds very challenging and overwhelming in the beginning. I think even this presentation brings me those memories where it's like so much workload, so many assignments. But I think it's all very different and very interesting. And I really like the creative freedom we got in both our individual assignment and our group project. So my individual assignment was on wine because I have a small interest in wine and studying the market of wine. So I wanted to see if us students or the Gen Z change makers, as we're called in IFA, plays a role in creating a greener and sustainable supply chain. So that was my individual research, and which was I did a survey, had interviews, but there were a lot of. I mean, I'll just give another example of what you can do is taste tests and all of that. So there's a lot of freedom in what kind of topic you want, and I think yeah, there's a lot of support from the professors as well. Whereas my group project was for Verstegen Spice and Sauces, which is almost the biggest spice company in the Netherlands. And for them, I did a country analysis for 4 of their countries to see if there is a country that already has sustainable and transparent supply chains. So I think that was a very vast and different project from what we've been doing so far at IFA because it was on a very global level, so to say, because it was dealing with 4 countries, lots of models which were new to us. But I think it was also very uh, interesting and a great learning experience because I think when we go to the work field, we are going to learn with different models on a global scale. Before the projects were more Netherlands related. So yeah, I think this is a good stepping stone into going to the work field and working on a more large projects and more global level, I'd say. I definitely recommend it.
Thank you, Jonica.
Mhm.
Teun, can you explain what you
Yeah,
have been doing?
yeah, I agree. Also for the last 6 months, I've been doing my individual research. Mine was about the sustainability of a fitness diet. And within this research, we got a lot of freedom. I mean, I can choose what instrument, what method, what models I can use. And I did collect data in terms of secondary data, validated this with expert interviews, did surveys. I used a life cycle assessment in order to calculate the total carbon footprint of the diet. And to be honest, this project was really, I enjoyed this project really much because I chose this subject myself. It was not something I was assigned to, and that's why I was motivated to work on it. And also for the group project, I had to sketch future scenarios for regenerative agriculture in the Netherlands. And also in this project, I got a lot of freedom. I really liked our company also. And that's also what motivated us. I mean, the company supervisor was really an interesting man. Yeah, and he really was a good talker. But also in this, I got methods and models, which I really enjoyed was the multi-level perspective. With that, we defined the whole system, the current food system in the Netherlands, and gave us clear insights on where to have our point of interest in the project.
And last but not least, you won
Yeah,
a
I won
prize.
Foodmanship Award. Yeah.
Yeah, and that made us, of course, very proud.
Yeah.
Then thank you both. Let's go a bit about and talk about the learning outcomes. Well, we already said you learned to analyze the food systems from a transition perspective and really look at designing a sustainable future food system. And for companies, often they need to think of new business models. They can't act the way they act, so they need to rethink how are they earning their money. In the individual research, you can really research anything you want. It can be an experiment, it can be a consumer research, it can look into an innovation for a company. It can be about carbon footprinting, as long as you are motivated and you follow a certain research protocol. Well, as I said, you really learn about personal leadership, how to reflect on yourself and on others on social, international, and ethical issues. Of course, in a group project, you learn how to organize and execute a quite complicated research project with multiple stakeholders. And we do applied research. So those are all the boxes you tick off in as learning outcomes. Some key information. It's 30 credits. It starts the 2nd of September. It will be in Den Bosch. And if you want more information, there's a website. We are a 4-year specialization, so we think you should finalize year 2, or at least almost finalize it. We want you actually to have a bit of working experience, so we think you should have done at least a 3rd-year internship, and any bachelor related to agriculture, food production, or environmental studies will give you enough background to run this module. We actually have, over the last 6 years, we had exchange students, and we have as well students from other programs of the Haas participating in this specialization. As a book, well, we use the standard books of doing research, which is the same as other programs use. The specific book we use in this module is The 7 Habits of Highly Efficient People. That's really about personal leadership. And we do an excursion and field visits, and those have as well additional cost. We start the minor off Texel, and the excursion costs for that are around 180 euros. So we want to give you a heads up that there are excursion costs involved. We have a few more minutes. So if you have any questions, please let us know.
I do not have any questions. It was very clear, actually. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask in which year you are currently?
I'm a second year at the Applied Biologist.
Okay. And were you interested to do this as a minor or probably as a minor?
Yeah, I'm looking for a minor, and I want something with food because right now I study biology and I really like it, but I would like to do something different.
Yeah.
And this attracted my attention.
Yeah. If you're really interested, I need to discuss with the team because there is increasingly an interest from second year students, but because it's an international setting and in our end levels, we really tick off the boxes at graduation level. So that's why we're a bit hesitant to accept second year students. But we can always see on an individual level if it's suitable.
All right, that's fine. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm just looking for what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. But just keep it in mind.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So in that case, we can close it off.
All right.
Is there a second round?
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Is there also a second round, or is this the only? Are you only one round one, Jeanette?
Yeah, no, I'm because all the programs, the minors and the specializations are presenting. It's just one round.
Oh, okay. For the next round 2 and 3, I organized that all participants are added automatically to the meeting. So
Oh, good. Yeah, that makes it easier for them.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Also
you.
for you, the students, thanks a lot, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So that's disappointing, but it's too early. We schedule another meeting ourselves.
But I think there was someone who joined midway, like joined and then left.
Yeah.